Hello, hello. I think we have everything working. I see there's a few already. Good evening. As usual, I can't even speak anymore. As usual, we'll wait a bit, let people come in. I know there's always some latecomers, and I'll just wait to see if everything is in order and working. I'll just check the last few things. Hope everybody's well. Been a while. Let's see. Just posting that on the stories there, saying we're live. Try to attract a few more people. There you go, done. So who do we have tonight? Chris, how you doing, Chris? Thanks for joining. Joseph, how you doing, Joseph? Thanks for coming. I suppose everything is working. You can hear me. Let me know. Doc, how you doing, Doc? Thanks for coming back. Thanks for the continued support, man. Thank you. I see your little sign is getting darker and darker beside. Thank you. Russ, how you doing, Russ? Newcomer, or maybe not. I'm terrible with names. I never remember names, but I remember faces. So, who else? Still with the decathlon. Okay, like I said in the last stream, it hasn't changed. That flow tubes will be coming out at, say, in the summer. This summer, there's no exact date. It could be June, July, or August, I think. And they are not starting their teasing campaign until May. So I'm not allowed at the moment to publish anything, put any pictures or videos of the flood tube until May. I have the video already ready to go. It's loaded, you know, on the unboxing and all that. So we just have to wait a little bit. Jack's TCT, so good to see you too, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Casey, how you doing? Thanks for coming too. That's quite a few. That's good. So, yeah. Hopefully we still have a little bit of power tonight because we have another big storm coming. They're giving snow and everything, so I don't know how bad it is. I think it's more just south of Ireland that are going to get the brunt of it tonight, but we're going to wait. Yes, definitely, Ross. I hope the boat is latched in the garage for tonight, and it's not going to come out. Hopefully next week. I wanted to go out this week, but we had two massive fronts. The moon cycle is really good, but these two fronts are just, I know they're kind of perturbing a bit the Pike, so it's going to take a little bit of settling before we can go out again. No monster lately, but I've been really blessed with trout this winter, so I've been targeting them a little bit more on lures, and it's been successful. Very happy with the outcome of this winter. Something different. I just can't wait for the water to warm up a bit and get back out on the float tube and on the fly. It's still cold. I think it's still about 4 or 5 degrees at the moment, so it's cold for this time of the year, but it's going to warm up. Levels are pretty low, but they're going to start climbing with all the rain and the storms that are coming by, so I'm pretty happy we're having that extra water coming, because they're going to start spawning pretty soon. I'd say that's going to happen. Seen the first frogs moving in the forest, so usually they kind of coincide, the frogs and the pike, when they spawn here anyway, so we'll see. Do you have much moon faith? Yeah, I do. Especially in the major and minors. I made a video on that. You can go back on it explaining how all that works. But definitely, I'm not saying I'm catching more pike, but most of my bigger pike always come in and around a major or a minor. So I do believe in that. Not in the full moon, but what happens is that these feeding windows, like on the major and on the minor, they do happen when we get closer to the full moon, and after it just brutally just dies off. So that sometimes explains how the fishing can be so up and down. Guba, how you doing, Guba? Thanks for joining, man. Thank you. So yeah, that's the moon cycle. I don't really go with the full moon, but as you go closer to the full moon, then windows tend to get wider and bigger, and you have more chance to catch fish. So that's why. But it's these feeding windows usually coincide with the moon cycle. So we all experience that with pike fishing, where you can fish all morning, you get nothing, and then all of a sudden you catch 5, 6, 7 pike, and that usually coincides with this moon cycle during the day. All right. Okay. Well, tonight, yeah, we're gonna. I keep asking question if you want, and I will start the fly, and if you have any question, keep it going. Like, hey Shorty, yeah, I just did mention the float tube. FLTB 9 will be out normally in the summer if nothing happens, but I can't post any more pictures or anything at the moment because there's a radio silent asked by Decathlon, and they're starting their teasing campaign in May. So there'll be a lot more pictures in May when I'll be allowed to post pics. So I'll be able to show you in more details and put some videos of that float tube. But it's worth waiting. Definitely, I think it's a float tube worth waiting for. So if you're in the market for something new, just wait, because we all know the excellent after self-service of Decathlon, and it's usually cheap. You see it with the FLTB 5, how inexpensive it is to change the bladders on these things. So just wait for it. That's my thing. So yeah, tonight we're gonna start with another terrestrial fly. I guess you can classify that as a terrestrial. I really like fishing these flies. Anything other than a fish pattern for me, I don't know. I just get off fishing those. If you've seen many of my videos and some of my ties on Instagram, you can see I'm a big fan of anything rodent or rats. This is actually one of the first one I tied a few years ago. I had one of them Phosphid wiggle tail on it. Let's see if it. There you go. Articulated. That was one of my first one. A little bit harder to cast this one because it has a lot of hair and synthetic hair to make it slightly sink slowly. But they caught me so many big pike, these ones. Then I moved on. I tried to move on to something a little bit lighter to fish and to cast. Kuba, how heavy the float tube is. I think, what did I say? Oh man, I don't want to say anything stupid. I can't remember if I weighed it in pound or in kilos. I think it's 15 kilos, the float tube altogether. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to check, but I think it's in around that. So, what the type of rodent I like fishing, it's the drowning rat. I don't have one here at the moment. I think they're in another box. I couldn't find them, but I'll link all the videos of the tying of these flies in the description box after I edit that video once it comes live. That's another one, the rubber band. That's a funny little one, articulated with a rubber band at the back and a really good swim. So these are mostly sinking version and slow sinking, kind of surface slow sinking. The drowning one it's a kind of a diver. And then I came up as well. I really liked these ones lately. For about a year I've been fishing those really hard, the body tubing with an articulated little backside. These have caught me a lot of pike, and they are fairly resilient. This is an old one. I changed the eyes a couple of times, but it's still there and it's still faring really, really good. So the other terrestrial that Pike like to eat, instead of rats and rodent and mice and all that, it's obviously anything that floats, like a little duckling, a little ciglet, anything small like that is usually getting crushed by Pike. I've seen them here live on the lakes, taking out young swans or attacking nests. That can happen. But I never tied a duck fly because it might sound a little bit snub for me, but I really like fishing my own design of flies. I always push myself to kind of try to have my own style on flies and not really try to follow or just look at something and copy it. I like to put my own twist. I kind of struggle for the duck fly. For the rat, I find it very easy to find inspiration and find my own style within them. But for the ducks was hard. Mainly the legs, the tail, the head. It's usually the same thing. The head is mostly done with packed bucktail, shaped into a duck's head. It's really nice. It's really lovely. Nothing wrong with that. It's very it imitates the thing really well. But I just wanted to change something like that and go something maybe a little easier. And the other thing was the legs as well. Legs that you see on ducks, it's usually feathers, it's usually rubber band, them little silly legs bunched together, like on the lures for the frogs. So I wanted to come up something a little bit different. But I think this one works. I tried it. It swims well. I haven't got a pike at the moment because it's a little bit cold for them to come up, but they will fairly soon. They're going to start moving in the margins, and they should start hitting that kind of thing. Usually springtime is a good fly to use, especially close to the vegetation. So that's the little guy. You probably saw it on the Instagram. We're going to tie the same one a little bit, maybe a little bit better. I forgot to put wings at the top. We're going to put some wings in there, and we're going to maybe put a little bit of something on the legs as well, extra. But it's tied on hard mono, so there's a nice spring into the two balls at the back. It's tied hook up as well, so no need for a weed guard. We're going to fish that hook up. Okay, it's weighted underneath. I'm going to put a bit of a weight as well, and it's articulated as well for extra movement and jigging. So the head, yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time trying to craft an head. I wasn't sure which type I had, and then I just went back to the simple double barrel from Flyman. I mean, these are sturdy as hell. They last a long time, and they have a really good action as well. So you can put it any way you want as well. You can change from a diver, from a slider, down to a popper if you want, just by turning the head around. Here, I've always noticed that the pike likes something a little bit more subtle. They're not mad when it really pops hard on the surface. You tend to spook them. So usually something that slides on the surface or that just dives a little bit and comes back up on the surface, like most of my rats, you get a lot more takes like that. So that's why I'm kind of using this one with the head up like that. So it kind of rides fairly high on the water and giving you the movement of these legs as well. So to tie that one, what do we need? We need a hook, of course. For this, I found those ones pretty nice. The 3.0, I would go for the size above, definitely. They're a little bit small. These are the ARX TP650. The bent hook. So these one are 3.0. I like to, yeah, like I said, I would go for one or two size above. But it's okay. You can get away with the 3.0 at the moment. As long as you don't go too mad and putting too much on the head. You want to have that little bit balanced, like so. That's the hook that we're going to use. The legs. Doc, love the recycling of the pop-up balls. Would you have ever thought of that? As soon as I've seen the balls, when I got them in stock here for the clients, I have them in different size. These are really, really handy. They're simple. they're inexpensive, and they last a long time. They're fairly resilient. It's made of a soft foam, but a very hard and resilient foam. So that's what's gonna make the legs, or the feet I should say. For the legs we're gonna use simply a little bit of mono. I think this is 60 pound. I lost it. I'll get some more. A little bit of mono we're gonna use. A few feathers. So for the feathers, if you have a cape or whatever, you can use whatever you want. It's not very important at all, like, you know, not something not too long, just to make a nice little arse. Couple, it'll make nice wings as well. Top of the fly, it's belly hair, so it's nice and buoyant. So yeah, we do have the belly hair here. Nice olive, kind of try to keep it a little bit natural kind of fly looking. For the belly, just to soak up water and to help it sit a little bit better, we're going to use some stacked Congo hair. So just simple Congo hair or EP fiber or any kind of a frizzy fiber like that. Then for the collar, finish off the fly just at the articulation. This is some chenille. It's a pretty big chenille. It's the chocolate game changer chenille. It's a little bit like a really heavier and longer chenille compared to maybe like a cactus chenille. Pretty good. I found many uses for that. Good to have. It can come up for things like that all the time, like, and small game changers as well. So for the head, I'll go for the double barrel. This is the large size. So if you don't know these ones, these are just like, you should know these ones, like really good and resilient. They last a very long time. And for the articulation, we go for a big game shank from Flyman. This is the 40mm, or you can make it yourself with the one-step looper. What else? And a couple, yeah, I've been using those for so many different things. They're little clevises. I don't know if it's hard to see. Little metal clevises. So they have a little lip at the top, and it's like a sleeve. And they use for making spinner baits, anything like that. You buy them. You can have them in any lure making shop. I usually do one shopping cart on lureparts.com in the States, and they're very inexpensive. They're very light, and I found so many use for that. I tie my tails on it. It really holds the tails on the back. I don't have any here tied with them, but they're fairly useful. I think you buy a pack of 100 for really next to nothing, like, so it's not bad to have that with you. And we need a little bit of weight, so we're going to get a set of dumbbells just to put under the hook. Just to balance that fly and make sure that it's going to land properly every time. So I think these are 4 mil, 3.8 or 4.2, something like that. And I'm just going to get a little bit of 65 pound 65 pound fluorocarbon or hard mono for the legs. So that's everything we need to do it. Alright, I'm going to set the camera, change the angle so you can see the device, and we start. If you have any question, fire away as usual. Focus, not bad. Alright, everybody see clearly, can hear me clearly. I think we're good. Oh yeah, by the way, if you see underneath on the subscription goal, we're going to try to push the channel a little bit more this year. Last year has done really well. We got over 1,000 new subs, so I'm going to try to get it to 3,000 this year and grow it from there. So don't be afraid to share it, share the video, talk to your mates about it, just to keep on growing. You can always support the stream either way with the super chat on YouTube, or the there it is, buy me a beer. Or if you don't want to spend money, all you can do to help me is either way subscribe or like the video, especially since now YouTube have taken the dislike button, because believe it or not, even if you were getting a dislike, it was counted as a good thing from YouTube algorithm. So I'm kind of losing that. So just click a like. It's simple, it's not expensive. So thank you, thanks for the help anyway. So just around the bend here, we are going to tie the dumbbell underneath and push it back a little bit. Put a little bit of super glue. Now this one I mostly fish it because it's a full floating one. I fish it most of the time with a floating line, full floating line. Works really well. Did I hear something? Did I miss a donation? Or I think I did. Thank you, whoever it was. Agatha just subscribed. Thank you for the sub. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to build the butt part. So for this, I'm going to start with a little bit of belly hair. I'm going to just put a light little coating of belly hair all around the back, and we're going to use the full length of the belly hair. I'm going to create a little bit, we're going to hide that dumbbell in the belly hair, and at the same time it's going to give us a little bit of a support for the feathers to open up a little bit in the arse like that, so they're not really all stuck together when they're wet, so they have a little bit of movement like that. See, also the belly hair always have a natural curve somewhere, so don't put that against the grain, okay? Just work with the fly with the natural curve, so we're going to have it going upward and not inward. Couple of loose wraps. I'm going to spin all that. I'm going to pull a few hairs like this. Put everything back. That's it, that's the backside done. I'm going to add a few feathers now and just lay them on top of this. So again, you can use really what you want, like, you know, if you have some mallard, if you come from the trout fishing, you might have that in stock. Use anything like that you have, really. You don't have to have anything specific. Same thing again, you have a natural curve in the feather, so we're going to put them so they're all pointing outwards on the outside of the fly. Try to stack them side by side, so maybe 4, 5, 6 feathers will do the trick. one more. That'll do. On the back side. Evening, Victor. Thanks for coming. Danny, thanks. Greetings from Bavaria. How you doing, Danny? Thanks for joining. Ministry of Microfly. Not using cul de canard. I don't have any cul de canard. Yeah, it makes sense to use cul de canard, but I do not have cul de canard. I don't tie that many trout flies, so it's not something I do carry in my fly tying materials. And these will create a lot more movement than cul de canard. Cul de canard are fairly short, like you want as much movement as you want at the back there. So that's it. That's the back side of our fly. Now we're going to do the legs. So did I lose again that piece of mono? That's unreal. Where did I put it? I think it slid. I think I dropped it on the ground again. Get another one. Same thing when you take a piece of mono like that thick on from the spool. It has already the natural curve of the spool, so use that curve to make things easier. So I'm going to put it so it's opening like this. Now we're going to start with, we're going to put one ball first. So we're going to thread our little clevis onto the mono. I use a crimping pair of pliers, and I'm going to crimp it. I'm going to leave a little bit, not too much, just going to leave it a little bit sticking out. Crimp it hard. It should hold no problem. And then that little tag end that we have, we're going to just mushroom that, burn it, and push it against the back like that, and there's no chance this is going to move anywhere now. And the good thing is that when you're going to put the popper ball on it, you're going to have to force it onto the hole of the ball, which is going to give it even more grip. You can glue it if you want, but I found that just pushing it like that is fairly okay, and I have no problem. So we're just going to measure now. You don't want it to stick too far out, about, I suppose, another hook length at the back. I cut the excess here. I'm going to do the same again. Forget, put your ball first on this side, then your crevice. Same thing. I'm going to crimp it. Keep a little tag end. I'm going to push it onto the clevis. At first I'm going to burn it. Squeeze it in. There you go, we got our mad legs. At this stage you can just loop up, give it a little pinch just to preform the legs. And you get a little pinch in the middle. And then we're going to tie that right against the feathers that we had there. So just figure eight that. Make sure you have them well in the middle. Don't be afraid to put a good few turns. Make sure it's nice and tight. And just glue it, and you're good to go for the next stage. All right, now it's gonna be, we're gonna alternate belly hair on the top and Congo hair at the bottom. Now for the Congo, it's only just a nice little pinch, nothing too thick. I'm just going to cut little sections of it. It's going to be trimmed after anyway, so don't cut it too long. You don't want too much waste. Right at the back. I'm going to keep it at the back. Make sure it doesn't roll. Stays right in the belly. Then after you can help it to come on the side. And now we're going to sit the belly hair on the top. I'm going to keep repeating the process. Now for that first section of belly hair, I'm just going to tie it with nearly full length, because I want some of those end hair to be at the back of the hook. It'll protect it a little bit. That's it, pinch it, make sure it doesn't roll around. That's it, that's going to make a little bit extra protection for the hook. But once it's wet and that Congo hair soak up the water, it usually has enough weight to land the proper way. Now I'm going to push the Congo at the back. Bring the thread forward. I'm going to keep on going till we arrive at the bend of the hook there. I tied many of my rodents like this with a mixture of belly hair on the top and Congo hair at the bottom. And I really like it because the fly do sink after a while when it's wet, but it doesn't sink too fast, and once you strip it, it usually comes back up to towards the surface. Hence the drowning rodent type that I really like fishing. Now, because now we're going to trim the belly hair, I'm going to start tying it towards maybe 1/3 up from the base, so we can pull back the hair as well. Is it? Hey Roberto, how you doing? No worries. Hello from Brazil. Thank you, man. Thanks for joining. That's it. We have it in focus now. I'm going to push the belly hair. I'm actually after, yeah. Now there's another thing I forgot to do, but you can do it. I wanted to do it tonight and it completely came out of my head. It's on the mono as well. I wanted to do that, but I forgot. Damn it. You can use a little bit of paracord. Steve Uchuk does many flies like that, and they really kick ass. A lot of his Emperor Mouse and all that are done like that, and I really like the idea. Just take some paracord, different colors available, and just slide your mono inside it, and it makes really cool legs like that too. So that's something I wanted to do, but I completely forgot. So you can do that as well. They really look nice. Alright, that's it. We have another 2 layers and we're good to go. I like just to put just a little drop of super glue, so like that it stops the belly hair rolling and going after when you fish, starting to move around the fly. So just a little dot of super glue here. I'll keep everything in place. That's it. We're nearly at the bend. We're very close. We're about 2-3 mil close to the bend. I'm going to bring the thread forward a little bit, all the way to the eye, and bring it back down. It's going to give a nice base for the color and that chenille to grab hold on. And put a little bit more towards the chest of Congo hair, just to fill it up a little bit. It's missing a little bit there. Now that's going to be trimmed back. You can pack it a little bit, push it back. There you go. Lior, bonjour, comment va Lior? Another coming, thank you, thanks for joining. Alright, I'll put some wings on this. So I'm going to double the wings. I'll put 2 on each side. In case one goes away, you still have another one. That's it. Again, think of the curvature of the wings. Make sure they go on the outside. Get the same length both sides. Alright, nearly there. We've done the hardest. I'm going to whip finish here just to secure everything. Put a little bit of glue. And I'm going to wrap the rest with a little bit of that chenille. Nothing complicated. It's not a super difficult fly to make. I never try to complicate myself when I tie flies. That's it. Now I'm going to roll that all the way to the front. We finish. A little dot of glue and we're done for that section. All we have to do after is give it just a little trim. Now for the head. Camera is struggling a little bit to get. There you go. For the head we're going to go with the 40mm. And we're going to go with the double barrel. So double barrel, we just need to drill it a little bit. So I'm going to go slightly on the lower side. I'm going to bring it at an angle upward. I do one pass dry like this. And then just to let a little bit more room, I'm going to heat up the needle and melt a bit the inside just to make a little bit more room. Alright, stick that in. Now we do first the pass dry without tying it up. Judge the length and the size. Pull the head again, and we're gonna put our thread, the rest of the chenille. I'm gonna put a good bit of glue on that thread, so put a nice bed of thread here, so you have a nice amount of thread to soak up the glue. Make sure that fly stays. Now I'm going to put a little bit of chenille, about half, near to the halfway point. I'm going to push the head on the rest. Are everybody okay with the tie so far? Like, I don't see comments coming, so I suppose I still see people with us, and so I'm not on my own. It's good. All right, let's push that up to the halfway point. of that 40 mil. I like the 40 mil size of shanks. I've used them for so many streamers. It's my kind of to-go-to length of shank, especially if you articulate a fly at the front for the head section. I always use the 40 mil. I kind of like it. Always managed to get a good hookup. All right, whip finish. Put a bit more glue. Now we can push the whole lot on. And when you push, you can spread the glue. And like I said, I like it to be a kind of a hovering fly passing above the lily pads and things like this. So I put my head upward like this, just to ride up like that. All we need to do now is trim the belly hair and the bucktail. So I'm going to give it a quick brush. Quick brush to the Congo hair on the belly. And then all we need to do is just to tie around. Give it a bit of a more natural shape. Careful them legs, don't put the scissors. Kind of want an olive shape to the body, so kind of wide and going back down. And the belly, we clip the belly fairly tight. That's nearly it. There you go, a chuck and duck. I didn't know what to call it, and somebody says like you have to be careful when you cast that. Hence the chuck and duck. I thought it was appropriate. As usual, I fish all these flies on a 10 weight, and they don't give any bother to throw. Like, sometimes you need a long cast with these flies, so it's important not to have them too bulky or too big, especially if you're fishing in the margins where it's shallow, where the pike can see you coming. So usually you need a longer cast just to be a little bit more discreet. Depends if you fish on the boat, the longer the cast, because they can see you from further away with a boat. If you're on the float tube, if you're quiet, you can approach them really close. I had texts of on the rats, like right in my feet, like, so they don't suspect too much on the float tube. So there you go, guys. That's my version of a duck, my little duckling, ready to get slayed for the springtime. Summer evening should be fun one to fish. So like I said, pity I totally forgot to put the paracord on the legs. I'll make another one with a bit of paracord, and I'd say that'll really finish off the legs. Well, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, any other requests, I think the next stream I'm working on is to make people are asking me what kind of black fly do I use and when I use a black fly. So I kind of use a black fly at a different time than other people would. but all that to be revealed in the next stream. Hopefully, if all goes well, next Thursday or next Friday, I'll be streaming that black fly. In the meantime, if you have any requests for different types of fly to tie on the stream, I'm available to stream for another 3 weeks maybe, and then after I'm starting working here with clients at the lodge, so I'll be busy for the next 3-4 months. We'll see what we do then, but I'll be back anyway, don't you worry. So thank you very much, guy. Don't forget, hit that like button. Keep going with the subs, try to push them subs to 3,000. Thank you for all the guys who donate, who support the channel, guys that are on the membership as well. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doc, you're one of them. Yeah, I'll see you very soon, guys. So I'll stay another couple of seconds, see if you have any questions coming. But that should be a fun fly to fish on a floating line. I love the takes on terrestrial flies. I mean, it's rare that you miss pike on the rat fly. They really hit them real hard. Like Agata, thank you very much. Thanks for the sub, man. Thank you, appreciate it. No problem. That's why the live stream is here, is just to share all these things. I can enjoy doing that, especially when I'm on my low season here. It's all quiet. So, but thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it. The stream will be available to rewatch, and once it's being done, finally edited, I put the link to all the other flies as well that I use for my terrestrial kind of fishing. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for the support. Thanks for coming. Have a good week. Stay away from them storms. Hopefully we can all fish a little bit more and efficiently very soon. So you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. I'll say goodbye. I don't want to move the camera again. Thank you. Catch you later, guys.